Travel offers many adventures, but few rival the breathtaking excitement of a road trip. Now imagine driving across the longest cable-stayed bridge in North America, a marvel that physically connects two of the world's most powerful nations. This vision is becoming a reality. Spanning the Detroit River to link Detroit, Michigan and Windsor, Ontario, the Gordie Howe Bridge is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious and fascinating megaprojects in North America. So what makes this bridge so special? How will it transform travel and trade? And how long until Canada shakes hands with this incredible new landmark? The United States and Canada, two of the world's most influential nations, share a rich history of over 250 years. Throughout this time, they've partnered on numerous iconic projects, from the St. Lawrence Seaway to NORAD and Transboundary water management. However, none of these collaborations rival the sheer scale and ambition of the Gordie Howe Bridge. Named after the legendary Canadian hockey player Gordie Howe, whose 25-year career with the Detroit Red Wings cemented his legacy on both sides of the border, this bridge is unlike anything the continent has ever seen. With a staggering $6.4 billion price tag, the Gordie Howe Bridge aims to address one of the region's most notorious traffic bottlenecks. Spanning 2.5 kilometers, or 1.6 miles, from Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario, this cable-stayed masterpiece is not only the longest in North America, but also a breakthrough in efficiency. Before exploring how this engineering marvel is set to revolutionize transportation and connectivity, let's take a step back. After all, this isn't the first bridge connecting these two nations. The connection between Canada and Detroit is actually a very old development spanning the better part of over 3 centuries, rooted in early fur trading routes that connected Indigenous and European communities across the Detroit River. In fact, during the 19th century, Detroit became a crucial stop on the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved people reach freedom in Canada. Over time, the industrial boom of the 20th century turned the region into a thriving automotive hub, establishing Detroit and Windsor as critical centers for cross-border trade and manufacturing. Today, this shared economy and interconnected culture have evolved into one of North America's busiest and most profitable corridors. Naturally, much of the transportation between the two regions relies The Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, which opened in 1930, was constructed to offer an alternative for passenger vehicles. This, however, didn't solve the truck problem, as they were prohibited from using the tunnel, and as such, worsened the burden on Ambassador Bridge. This posed a significant challenge, as the Ambassador Bridge became the busiest border crossing in all of North America. To put it into perspective, the bridge handles over 10,000 vehicles daily, amounting to roughly 3.65 million cars annually. For comparison, this yearly traffic surpasses the entire population of countries like Qatar, Estonia, Cyprus, and the Maldives. To fight this insane bottleneck, in 2004, the US and Canadian governments announced can take this beautiful scenic stroll or bike ride linking Canada and the US completely free of cost. Standing tall at 220 meters or 722 feet, the bridge is supported by two A-shaped towers that are nearly as high as a 60-story skyscraper and are visible for miles around. These towers are not just functional, holding up the bridge's 216 cable stays, but also stunning landmarks that will add a new flair to the skyline, no matter which side you're on. Unsurprisingly, the bridge's footprint goes beyond the structure itself, too. On the Detroit side, the port of entry will cover 167 acres, the equivalent of 126 football fields, making it one of North America's largest customs plazas. And did we mention the art? Because this bridge is a celebration of local culture and history. Up on those massive towers, sculptures by Indigenous Canadian artist Michael Belmore will honor the region's First Nations history, while Jordan Sook's artwork will commemorate the Underground Railroad. At night, Douglas Coupland's architectural lighting will make the bridge glow with life as a radiant beacon of connection and unity. But that's not all, as the bridge is investing $20 million back into the community for local projects, from improving parks and supporting small businesses to funding neighborhood events. Now let's get back to connectivity. For the longest time, the Ambassador Bridge has served as a key link between Detroit and Windsor, but as we mentioned earlier, it has struggled to keep up with modern demands. And one of its biggest shortcomings is the fact that it's not directly connected to the main highway systems on either side. Essentially, for drivers in Canada, this means exiting into city streets, facing traffic lights, and weaving through downtown Windsor just to reach Highway 401, Ontario's vital east-west route. This messy transition clogs up traffic, increases travel time, and hikes transportation costs for businesses relying on smooth cross-border logistics. On top of that, being privately owned has raised questions about the bridge's management and maintenance, not to mention potential conflicts of interest. On the other hand, the Gordie Howe International Bridge was designed specifically to solve these issues. Unlike its predecessor, this new bridge offers seamless freeway connections, directly linking Detroit's Interstate 75 to Windsor's Highway 401 through the Right Honorable Herb Gray Parkway. This uninterrupted route means no more detours through city streets, promising shorter, hassle-free travel times for both personal and commercial vehicles. And that's not all, because as mentioned, the Gordie Howe Bridge will also have state-of-the-art ports of entry on both sides of the border. These updated customs facilities are set to simplify border processing and cut down on delays, adding yet another layer of efficiency to the experience. By directly linking major highways and upgrading border processing, the Gordie Howe Bridge is set to transform Detroit-Windsor connectivity. But crazily enough, this bridge almost never existed, and it was all because of one man. Manuel "Matty" Maroon, a Detroit billionaire who fiercely opposed the construction of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. But why, you ask? Well, for those who have been paying attention, Maroon owned the Ambassador Bridge, the only major crossing between Detroit and Windsor, and he stood to lose profits from tolls and commercial traffic if a competing bridge was built. Over several decades, Maroon launched lawsuits, funded political campaigns, and even used public relations campaigns to sway public opinion against the new bridge. He argued that a second bridge wasn't necessary, despite mounting congestion and inefficiencies at the Ambassador Bridge. In the end, he failed, with the last of his cases being ruled out in 2016. However, Maroon wasn't the bridge's only challenge. The timeline for the Gordie Howe Bridge dates back to the early 2000s, when studies highlighted the urgent need for a new crossing to accommodate growing trade and alleviate traffic congestion. Canada strongly supported the project and eventually agreed to fund it entirely, even covering Michigan's costs. And despite ongoing legal battles from Maroon, construction began in 2018, with the project estimated to be completed in 2024 and cost about $4.4 billion. However, today, the bridge's completion is currently projected for 2025, and the budget is sitting somewhere north of $6 billion. But the project is a necessity, as it promises to offer a much-needed, modernized route for cross-border travel. Now, engineering-wise, the project was quite a challenge to bring to life. For one, Creating a major shipping channel with significant commercial traffic required a delicate balance between functionality and aesthetics. Engineers opted for a cable-stayed design to offer sufficient clearance for vessels, while also creating an aesthetically pleasing structure. However, this choice introduced challenges, as overcoming gravity during construction required techniques such as cambered legs, temporary crossbeams, and precise concrete placement to ensure stability. Additionally, the bridge's location near Zug Island's industrial area posed a corrosion risk. To address this, engineers developed a durable 3-layer paint system designed to protect the bridge's steel elements for more than 40 years. However, beyond structural considerations, logistics also played a critical role in minimizing disruptions. As such, careful planning was essential to balance construction sequencing, material transport, and traffic control, helping to reduce community impact while maintaining smooth project progression. Environmental sustainability was also a huge part of the project. As such, to protect the local wildlife, the team relocated hundreds of Butler's garter snakes to safe areas and installed noise walls along Interstate 75 to reduce sound pollution for Detroit residents. But after all this stress, what good can one bridge do to justify all this? As we've highlighted many times, the Gordie Howe International Bridge is set to bring a wide range of benefits to the region and beyond, with a focus on improving transportation, boosting economic growth, promoting environmental sustainability, and enhancing local communities. In terms of economic impact, the bridge will significantly boost cross-border trade, facilitating the movement of approximately $400 million worth of goods every day. That's about $146 billion annually. To put this in perspective, the Panama Canal handles around 3 to 4% of global maritime trade, equating to roughly $270 billion in cargo annually, or $739 million per day. The construction and ongoing operation of the bridge have already created thousands of jobs and are expected to continue driving new investments and business development in the area. But what's your take on the Gordie Howe International Bridge? Do you see it as a positive development, or do you have any concerns about its impact on the region? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Gordie Howe International Bridge, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more intriguing stories of development and innovation. Until next time, keep reaching for the stars, stay inspired, and remember, today's projects are the cornerstones of tomorrow's advancements. Catch you in the next video.